Hello, I'm VaultBoy, and today I'm going to be telling you about my top 5 sci-fi games of all time. Okay, so at number 5, we've got CCP's massively multiplayer online service, and I do mean massive game, which is EVE Online. Now, if you haven't played this game before, then I don't really know what you're doing looking at this video, and if you like sci-fi games and you haven't played EVE Online when it's all about spaceships. So basically, it's just a massive sandbox game. And anything can happen. You could be mining away at some little asteroid field and a couple of douchebags come along and destroy you. And now you can just start a little war and it's all great. In your little spaceship. It's quite cool. There's a lot of grinding in it, but I don't know. It's just the whole fact that you're like in this massive world, this massive universe, and it's just so cool, especially if you like things like Star Wars and stuff. It's just so cool just to like own your own ship. And okay, so at number 4, whatever you want to call it, is Star Wars Battlefront, the whole series. I started playing Battlefront, God, when was it? Ages ago, like when I was like 10. And this was Battlefront 1, which was just an amazing game. And then Battlefront 2 came out, and it was just amazing. If you're a Star Wars fan, you're going to love this. Obviously, it's an old game, but you can pick it up on Steam. For relatively cheap. I don't know what the exact price is, but it's really cool. It's just got all the scenes out of Star Wars in it. You can just create your own battles and everything. It's really cool. And yeah, it's just probably the best Star Wars game today. Okay, at number 3, it is the fantastic Dead Space series. Now, if you haven't played Dead Space, and I probably don't blame you, because you probably don't like horror games. Now, if you're into sci-fi, and you're into horror, like movies and stuff and horror games, then the fact that you might not have played Dead Space is a travesty. Dead Space is just an amazing series of games. Dead Space 1 is just fantastic. The jump scares in it are fantastic. Dead Space 2 was good, but not as good as the first one. But if you really are into your horror games and you're into a bit of sci-fi, you should definitely pick up Dead Space and Dead Space 2 because they're just phenomenal games. Great atmosphere, great combat, crafting system, different sort of armor sets and stuff. It's really cool. And yeah, Dead Space 1 is one of my favourite games of all time. So that's why it comes in at number 3. So at number 2. Number 2 is XCOM Enemy Unknown. I personally have never played any of the previous XCOM games because I don't think I was alive. But XCOM Enemy Unknown is probably one of the best turn-based strategy games I've ever played. And the depth and story in it is just fantastic. The gameplay is just so smooth and crisp. Really like the graphic style. Sort of cartoon. It's not really realistic, but it's sort of cartoony in a way that isn't like, I don't know, Spyro. Okay, so it's really great. Turn-based shooter. You control your squad going around defeating this alien invasion. I haven't personally played, what's it called, XCOM Declassified, so I wouldn't recommend that. So I'm not recommending the whole series here. I'm specifically doing XCOM Enemy Unknown because it's just such a fantastic game. I remember I played it at Eurogamer 2011 or 2012, and it was one of the best games at the show. And they've recently done a DLC called Enemy Within, which is supposed to be really good. I haven't picked up yet, but XCOM Enemy Unknown is just a fantastic game. You have to play it if you like turn-based games, or even if you like sci-fi games with aliens in it. It's just so cool. It works so well. The graphics are great. The gameplay is phenomenal, and it's just one of the best games I've played in 2012. Even this year, I don't think any sort of sci-fi game has come close to it. So XCOM Enemy Unknown, number 2. Okay, number 1, Mass Effect. Now, if you haven't played Mass Effect and you're a sci-fi fan, then I pity you. I really do, because it's one of the best series of games I've ever played on this generation of consoles. Well, I should say last generation, because it's a new generation anyway. But anyway, Mass Effect is one of the best told stories I've ever experienced in any film or any game. Shepard as a main character is just so fantastic. The way that, you know, the conversations go with all your crew members and everything. And each game, 1, 2, and 3, I actually cannot like say one is better, because I'll probably say Mass Effect 2 is probably the best, but I love all 3 of them equally. And that's why it becomes, the whole series is my number 1. And as for DLC, Mass Effect has probably the best DLC I've ever experienced in a game. Lair of the Shadow Broker is just phenomenal, a phenomenal story, especially if you've romanced Liara. The Citadel DLC, I haven't actually played it yet, but apparently it's really good. What was it called? Leviathan for Mass Effect 3, fantastic, really good background story to the Reapers. And every little inch of Mass Effect, the whole universe is just so good that it makes you love everything about the universe, everything about the characters, everything about you as Shepard. So I cannot top Mass Effect. It is just the best sci-fi game I've ever played, and I highly recommend you go and play it if you haven't. Okay guys, hope you enjoyed this video, or this little short video about my sci-fi background and what my top 5 are. Please remember to subscribe, leave a comment, leave a like if you want, and even share this video on the social networks you so require to do. Hope you enjoyed, guys, and I shall see you later. This is VaultBoy signing off. Requiescat in pace.